Okay, and I'm not asking about the lumpy pillow calls.
No, they're not lumpy pillows. That's not what they call on. Okay? That when you say lumpy pillows, now you're an asshole. You got that? You're an asshole, is what you are.
So we're going to be talking about Mike Lindell. Give a little bit of context to what's going on right now with Lindell. He's being sued by Dominion voting systems, you know, the voting machines. He's being sued by them for, I think, $1 billion. Fox News, quote unquote, as their, Fox so-called news, just settled with Dominion for $750 million. So it's a big defamation suit, and Lindell is in a lot of trouble right now. Not good, to say the least. This is Mike Lindell being served with the papers for the lawsuit he's being deposed for right now. See the papers right here, the manila folder with the guy in the gray and like orange jacket? He blends into the crowd seamlessly. God, these process servers are really good at their jobs.
God bless you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for everything.
What is this? Sir, what is this?
Like, did he just take some random paper from somebody without even realizing what it was?
It's for you. Okay, well, what is it?
It's not from me. It's not from me. It's for you.
Hey, I need you to open it.
That is for documents right there, sir.
Oh, it is.
Sorry.
So that was him being served for, it was him being served, showing that he has to appear in court and everything else. People try to avoid that type of thing. Like, if you can avoid being served for, like, a long enough period of time, then it can work to your benefit. So a lot of people try to avoid being served. But when you're in the public eye so much and so often, it's really hard to avoid being served like that. Well, the next day, Lindell comes out on his program and he says this. By the way, all this stuff happened early April 2022. That's when he was served originally, I believe.
There was a guy there that gave me an envelope, and it's about this thick, and I said, what's this? And he was kind of sheepish. He says, don't open that here.
No, he said, it's for you. It's not mine, it's for you.
Well, you might have seen it in the news today. It's a lawsuit, another lawsuit. Eric Coomer, the president of Dominion, don't know if he still is.
Oh my God. He has like this weird obsession with Coomer specifically. It's not Coomer suing him. It's Dominion that's suing him.
But he sued myself, he sued MyPillow, and he sued FrankSpeech.com. So he sued Frank Speech and MyPillow, thousands of employees. It's just one more thing they just pile on, Brandon. Do we have, just to show what kind of guy this is?
Oh my God. So they went on to show a video of Eric Coomer, certainly edited to show him being really, really evil or something. Like, come on, Mike, move on with your life. Why? Like, he put himself in this position, okay? And why did he continue to go out there and make it worse for himself?
I know we have a couple of articles that came out on him just recently, right?
Yeah, we do. They were published over at the Gateway Pundit.
Right. I mean, this guy is, he's very...
Gateway Pundit is like a far-right extremist type of magazine, to my knowledge. Been a while since I looked into them.
He's an evil man. That's all there is to it.
Eric Coomer is an evil man, I guess. God, Mike Lindell cannot stand Eric Coomer. It's crazy. So anyways, that should give you a little bit of context for what's happening in the deposition right now.
Eric Coomer did this directly to me, and I made one statement about him. Didn't say nothing for a whole year. Then you guys come up and serve me papers in Colorado. Boy, I'll bet there's statements after that, wasn't there?
Well, nobody cares if you made statements about Eric Coomer at all. It's completely irrelevant. It's not about Eric Coomer. It's about the fact that you defamed voting systems.
And everybody knew that what he did to MyPillow and Mike Lindell, how dare him come and sue MyPillow? He's a scumbag for doing that. Put that in there. Scumbag. SQM bag.
SQUM? Did he just fail trying to spell the word scumbag? I love it to death, dude. Does it get funnier than this? Does it get more ridiculous than this? They're caricatures of themselves at this point, right?
That's what he is, for what he did to me. Rotten, horrible lawyers like you and the media saying, oh, Mike Lindell's trying to save this country just to make money. I have lost everything I've had so far. You got it? So don't sit here because I'm not going to take this garbage you're spewing out.
Well, you know, in my opinion, I think that this is what really happened. I think Mike Lindell was looking for an opportunity to take control of the country with Donald Trump. He was looking for an opportunity to effectively declare martial law and turn Trump into a de facto dictator. He's trying to encourage general fascism. And the reason I say that, I know that's a tall claim. Let me back it up with some evidence here. I just so happen to have some evidence. This is an article written on the New York Times from January 15th, 2021. A picture of Mike Lindell surfaced walking into the White House, and when zoomed in, you can tell that this paper is talking about declaring martial law. Basically, Lindell had a plan that entailed declaring martial law. And there's another guy he worked with, Patrick Byrne, who worked with Donald Trump, apparently, to concoct a plan and get Trump to declare martial law under the guise of secret information that he received that it's not safe to release because it's from the intelligence community, basically. That was the plan. Well, look, they want evidence to tell them that it's classified. They can't get the evidence, and then declare martial law after January 6th. That's what was going to happen. This is all backed up with evidence that I just provided here. Again, just look up the articles yourself if you're curious. There is no question about any of this stuff.
Here, because I'm not going to take this garbage you're spewing out. This is a horrific what you're doing. I've said it from the start of this thing. It's disgusting. I've lost millions of dollars.
You can't bang on the table because you're.
That's what I did. Sorry, I apologize. Did it break the thing? It's disgusting. I can't believe that.
That's like the first part of seeming humanity we've seen out of him. Like, he honestly seemed to have apologized after banging on the table. That's fascinating, right?
It's disgusting. I can't believe that you're a lawyer, that you would do something like that. Don't you have a moral compass?
Yes, lawyers have ethical standards that they must adhere to. They must. Lawyers are actually very, very ethical people, but they have to battle zealously for their clients. They must. And sometimes, working in big law, there are 3 types of law that you can really work in. There are others, but by and large, it's just these 3 types. Big law, like Disney, working for Disney as one of their corporate lawyers, or one of Mike Lindell's lawyers or whatever. Or you can do criminal law, which is like defense attorneys or prosecutor or whatever. Or there's public interest. You can get into public interest. And big law, they all have these ethics courses. Every lawyer in law school has ethics courses to teach them how to be ethical. But they have to battle zealously for the company that they work for. And big law chews you up and spits you out, from my understanding. That's where you make real money. You're making $600,000 a year. Hell, you might even make it up to like $1.5 million a year. You make tons and tons and tons of money as a big law lawyer. But you have to do things like sue people who are trying to put an engraving of Spider-Man on their dead child's tombstone. You're not allowed to do that because it'd be an infringement of trademark. And you have to sue the person to prevent them from doing that. You know, it's like, it's ethical that these people are battling zealously for their clients, but the thing they're battling zealously for is absolutely disgusting sometimes. Anyway, public interest is the way to go, in my opinion, the best thing to do. But you make, you know, $30,000 a year sometimes, and with $500,000 in student loan debt, it may not even be feasible to work in public interest. So, anyways, that's the bottom line. Lawyers are extremely ethical people. It's just the companies that they work for that order them to do unethical things a lot of the time. And it's just, God, dude, some of it is just terrible, truthfully.
I mean, this is bizarre. This whole thing is bizarre. That I did it to make money with promo codes? Really?
All right.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Have you ever asked someone like your controller to give you a report like that just says, hey, I want to see War Room. I want to see everything.
Of course I have.
Okay, good.
Or I can do it myself. You know.
I'm not sure. I don't understand the context. And there was a jump cut there. I did not insert that jump cut. Every jump cut that I inserted, you can tell because it was between clips, and I just put the fade to black and fade back to the new clip. I didn't edit these in any way aside from just, you know, compiling it into one big piece. So
I can do it myself. They're date range. I showed you on my phone. What's wrong with you? I just showed you all the promo codes.
Let's not get combative about
Well,
it.
no, I'm just telling you. You're asking me something. I just showed you how I can do it.
This data we've been talking about, is it the same data that you procured from Patrick Byrne?
I didn't purchase anything.
remember, Patrick Byrne, I talked about him just a minute ago, pushed Trump to use intelligence data to back fake election claims. This is on Independent, and it was written February 2022. A group of pro-Trump conspiracy theorists sent Republican senators a memorandum advocating for the use of top-secret communications intercepts to bolster former President Donald Trump's claims of election fraud in the days leading up to January 6, 2021. The memorandum, which was first revealed by the Washington Post, opens with the baseless claim that substantial evidence, which had been obtained by former Pentagon and U.S. intelligence community analysts, suggested foreign involvement in the racial justice protests which spread across the U.S. in 2020, describing them as a violent color revolution. Obviously fake. And it further alleged that the foreign involvement also extended to altering the vote counts in what it called the 2020 election fraud, and suggested Mr. Trump order search inquiries against signals intelligence data collected by the National Security Agency, the NSA. So that's who Patrick Byrne is. I don't know what they're referring to here about getting data from him. Did he have some kind of data? I'm not sure.
This data we've been talking about, is it the same data that you procured from Patrick Byrne?
I didn't purchase anything from Patrick Byrne's ever. I've never dealt.
Okay, nobody said purchase. That's a weird little detail to throw in, isn't it? You know what that's telling me? He said procured. That means get, take, receive. He was asking if Mike got the data from the dude. And Mike says, I didn't purchase anything from him. Nobody said you did, Mike. That's kind of weird, right? Is it just me?
With Patrick Byrne's on anything, of purchasing any data. What are you talking about? Then where did this come from? Now you're starting to be stupid. Now you're really asking some questions. Where did you even get that I purchased any?
Nobody said you purchased anything, Mike. What is going on here?
Data from Patrick Byrne's. This is the most out left field thing I ever heard. What did you want me to say? Oh, no, I didn't purchase it. I never purchased anything or got anything from Patrick Byrne ever.
Thank you. Okay, and I'm not asking about the.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. I don't know the context fully. Maybe the context will eventually come out. But I don't believe a word out of, Mike's mouth. I can tell he's lying when his lips are moving, basically.
I'm not asking about the lumpy pillow calls.
No, they're not lumpy pillows.
Oh, God, this is where he gets really, really mad. Oh, my God, I love it.
That's not what they call on. Okay? That when you say lumpy pillows, now you're an asshole. You got that?
As if Mike hasn't been a quackhole this entire time. As if Mike has been an easy person to deal with through all of this. Really? I mean, give me a break. Mike is accusing this guy of being a jerk because he didn't even accuse Mike of having lumpy pillows. He just mentioned, his line. He was trying to find out if his customer care line was the same one that was used through, not just the company, but through his far right ties or whatever other thing. That's my guess. I have no idea exactly. I guess we're just gonna have to wait to get the context on that. But the dude was like, I'm not talking about lumpy pillow calls or complaints. I'm talking about the other calls. Did you receive other calls through this line? That's what I'm assuming he was saying. And Mike just loses it.
You're an asshole, is what you are. He's an asshole.
No,
he's an
His lawyer's trying to shut him up.
chasing asshole. That's what you are. The lumpy pillows, kiss my ass. Put that in your book. No, they answer anything, any problem customer that wants to reach Mike Lindell. Those are the ones. I want to talk to Mike Lindell. I want to talk to Mike Lindell. They send them to here and they go.
Well, that's a weird sound effect. I don't even know what it means.
They call all about maybe they didn't get their pillow on time because of the FedEx or whatever. Well,
oh, wow. So he's trying to describe why a customer care line exists, and he's saying in no circumstance is there ever a possibility that there was a problem on his end. What happens, what these people are calling about and complaining about is never the fault of my pillow. It is always the fault of somebody else. Isn't that fascinating? It's a fascinating glimpse into his psyche. Let me tell you something. I ran a little Etsy store for a while selling 3D printed video game stands, right? And from time to time, my 3D printer wasn't tuned in correctly or whatever, and it would lead to weird little warps, or maybe it was a little too brittle and it broke easily or whatever. And you know what? When people called me and told me that, I sent out a new one or I refunded them. One of the two. Sometimes you are at fault. It's okay to admit fault. It's not always someone else's fault. It's just bizarre to me that Mike cannot take responsibility for anything ever. Ever. It is always somebody else's fault.
We'll cover him even though it could be somebody else's fault. Nobody called because of a lumpy pillow. But good one though.
His pillow is the perfect pillow, the best pillow. Nobody's ever seen a better pillow.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
He's not done. Spoiler alert.
What I'm saying.
Obviously, you don't have a My Pillow too. You don't, do you?
Oh, I love it, dude. Mike cannot give this up. He is really mad about this lumpy pillow thing. Holy shit. Who knew Mike would be so sensitive about lumpy pillows?
What I'm saying is, Mr. Lindell.
Asshole. Go ahead. No, I'm pissed.
I love it. This is fantastic.
I understand.
Yeah, go. When you're saying what?
Do you need to take a break?
No, I don't need to take a break.
All right. Here's what I'm asking you,
your
sir.
lumpy pillow question kind of set a nerve.
Clearly.
Because obviously, just like your question in here, Mike's in your little complaint, Mike's frivolous cyber symposium, this whole case is frivolous. You should be ashamed of yourself. But go ahead.
Jesus, dude. Who knew Mike Lindell would be so pissed off about his pillows, so protective about his pillows. Absolutely nuts.
Finish your question on this and try not to talk about, I get personal and badmouth my employees or my pillows or anything like that. Go ahead.
I haven't said a single word about your employees, and I don't own one of your
You've
pillows.
attacked them. You've attacked them. You were.
No, you fucked up, Mike. You did this. This is your fault. Nobody else's. I get so sick of hearing Mike Lindell shirk responsibility onto everybody around him instead of accepting it. You know what? The president used to have a plaque on the desk that said, "The buck stops here." You know why? Because ultimately the guy at the very top is responsible. It doesn't matter what messed up or who did it or what. It's irrelevant. The guy at the top takes credit and he takes responsibility when things go wrong. That's how things work in society. You know, there was a bad pullout in Afghanistan. Like, we were trying to pull out of Afghanistan and it played out poorly. Guess whose fault that is? Ultimately, it's the president's fault. I mean, I'm not shooting down the fact that Biden pulled us out of Afghanistan. I'm really glad he pulled us out. I'm just pointing out the fact that the president is to blame, ultimately, for the stuff in his purview. Because he is at the top. And would you be surprised to find that the buck stops here plaque was removed from the desk by Ronald Reagan? Anyone surprised by that? I think it was Ronald Reagan. These people don't want to take responsibility for anything. They will refuse to their dying breath.
Part of this, you're getting paid on consignment. You get paid if they get money from my employees. Yes, you have attacked them.
No, Mike Lindell dug this hole and threw those employees into it.
You personally did this with Newsmax. You, and I called it right out, the criminal lawyers and Coomer, when you guys did this to me.
Thank you.
Then now you got your answer. You already knew the answer. You just was hoping there was more, I think.
No, I mean, I don't know what question or answer was asked, but I think they need it put on record because this is a deposition sworn under oath, under penalty of perjury, right? Is what depositions are, I believe.
It sucks that you're not going to win all this money, huh? Do you feel it slipping away because you're all...
I mean, he already won $750 million for Dominion from the Fox lawsuit, so...
wrong and you realize you shouldn't have done this?
I'm not sure you understand how you're perceived.
I love it, dude. I'm not sure you understand how you're perceived. No, clearly he does not understand how he's perceived.
I don't care how you think I'm perceived. Let me tell you how you're perceived. You are perceived as an ambulance. You're the reason what's wrong with this country with lawyers. You're disgraceful, is what you are. I read some of the crap in here that you wrote in your brief. It's disgusting. The lies in here. One of them says, after Mike was with Donald Trump in 2017 at a manufacturer summit, he started doing promo codes on Fox. I was doing it 10 years prior.
Yeah, but you were doing them on specific segments, and you picked up the, I mean, I don't even know if that's true, but he picked up the promo codes on Fox dramatically and dropped other, dropped other, like, companies. Like, he wasn't doing promo codes with CNN anymore, for example. So there is a difference there, and he's trying desperately to pretend there isn't a difference. There is. Sorry, Mike.
This is a big lie. You're a lying lawyer.
I had come prepared yesterday.
Okay, this is the next day, apparently. You're a lying lawyer. Love it. He is just like Trump in a lot of ways, isn't he, Mike Lindell? This is just painful and sad, man. This dude needs to get in touch with reality desperately. It's crazy. Oh, my God. I can't talk and deflect at the same time. I'm so bad at it. All right, let's listen to this next clip.
And the record will just reflect what happened yesterday. I don't need to characterize it. But I had come prepared to show you a series of video clips many of which you referenced interviews at CNN
Uh-oh.
during the symposium, discussions on Bannon's podcast referencing Eric Coomer. We didn't go through your discovery responses because of how yesterday went. A number of emails that I wasn't able to show you, and I am going to be asking and reserving the right to ask the court to order you to be redeposed on additional issues.
Oh my God, he's going to ask the court to re-depose Mike Lindell on additional stuff. I love it.
Additional time. And I will be seeking
And I'm going to seek taking you to court because of what you've done to my employees.
What you've done to my employees. Mike, you did it, okay? Take some responsibility for the first time in your life, Mike. Who still works for this guy anyways, honestly? If you still work for this guy, that's kind of on you, right?
Everything you said comes after you sued me. Everything I said. You're an evil, evil man. There, that's on the record. Very evil. What
Oh my God.
you've done to my employees, everything that you were going to say comes after you sued me. Everything I said, and I stand by what I said.
Completely false. I have a billion examples. I'm sure that if I have these examples, I'm sure that the court does as well. Again, I cannot deflect and talk at the same time. So bad at it. I'm sure the court has all these examples as well if I do. But there are a billion examples of Mike Lindell sticking his foot in his mouth gloriously. I just eat this up, dude. I love it.
You're an ambulance chasing lawyer, evil person. You and your Eric Coomer buddy. So you will be sued. Don't worry. And you will be sued big because I won't back down.
Great. Okay. Fine. You go ahead. You have the right as an American citizen to sue anybody you want. If that's what you want to do, you're going to lose, Mike. God, I still suck. It doesn't matter if I talk or not.
All right. Anything else?
I got better things to do with my life. We're trying to save a country here, not you guys ambulance chasing lawyers trying to get money off people that had nothing to do with it. My employees, if I sat here and they sat here and looked at you guys, they'd say, how could people do this? How could anybody do this to anybody?
God, this is such a joke, dude. Mike Lindell slandered and destroyed the reputation of another company. Okay, brazenly. And Dominion is arguing that he did it with actual malice, intentionally, and that he knew what he was doing was false. But either way, even if he didn't know it was false, it doesn't matter. He was doing it with the goal of making money. That's what they're establishing right now. So it's irrelevant if he knew or not, basically. Now, I just had to get into the swing of things. Now I'm deflecting properly.
And that's, and did I say, and you wonder why I said that, and I apologize for calling your friend a scumbag, but I'm so upset what you did, not to me, but to my...
Wow, I'm surprised. Like, another glimpse into Mike being a decent human being.
For calling your friend a scumbag, but I'm so upset what you did, not to me, but to my employees. What you did to my employees, why would...
Mike, you did it to your employees. Turn that mirror back around on yourself, Mike.
Why'd you do that? But I think what you did is horrible. We've done nothing. And then you wonder why I sit here. How do you guys sleep at night? You obviously don't have a My Pillow. That's a fact.
Oh my God, that's so funny. You obviously don't have a My Pillow. That's why. So you can't sleep well at night. That's why you don't sleep well, at least in part. Jesus, dude, this is so ridiculous. I love it to death. I love everything about it. Hang on. There we go. Now, see, I just need to get into the swing of it. Now I can deflect properly.
I just can't fathom, and that's why I'm so upset. When you know how mad I was when I came in here yesterday? You're right. I should have read this, but I've got other things going on in my life that are a lot more important than these frivolous lawsuits.
Not frivolous, Mike. This is real. Fox News settled for a lot of money for this exact same lawsuit. If you don't take this seriously, you're going to find yourself in some deep shit. He's already in some deep shit, to be honest with you.
And it's the most important thing to our country ever, to my children, my grandchildren, everything. That's where I'm at.
Just embarrassing, dude. Do you think Lindell really believes the garbage that he spews? It doesn't really matter, from my understanding, if he believes this nonsense or not. For the sake of his defense in this defamation suit, I think, to my knowledge, it doesn't matter if he believes it or not. He can truly, to the bottom of his heart, believe this and still have to pay the money out anyways. So this isn't going to save Mike. Do you think Mike really believes what he's saying? I think he does. I honestly believe that Mike Lindell buys what he's selling. Buys his own nonsense. Well, if you ever want to piss off Mike Lindell, you know how to do it, right? Just talk about how his pillows are lumpy.
That's where I'm at. So we can keep going, we'll waste an afternoon. Yes, do I think you guys and them are a traitor to our country by what you did to my pillow? Yes. We are made in America. You guys are bizarre. What does this have?
Wow, you're a traitor to the country because you are suing my pillow. That makes you a traitor to the country. You're treasonous. You are giving aid or comfort to the enemy by suing my pillow. That's some tall claims there, Mike.
To do with me. I didn't badmouth Eric Coomer. Maybe
this isn't about Eric Coomer. I don't care about Eric Coomer. It's about Dominion and the fact that you brazenly lied about them. I mean, even if he thought it was real, it doesn't matter. You told falsehoods and refused to give it up and destroyed the company as a result.
What does this have to do with me? I didn't badmouth Eric Coomer. Maybe, I don't care if Newsmax did or whatever they did to him. That's their business. That's your business with Eric Coomer. I mean, what they've done to me and what they've done to our country, absolutely.
Dude, look at the guy's hair right now. If you're watching, look at the dude's hair. It's like he's just sitting there and he's just like running his hand through his hair all day long. That's like all he's doing. This guy appears to be, to some degree, unhinged from reality, it seems to me. I don't know. That's just like an outsider looking in,
Stand by that. You guys served me papers. You went against my pillow, served my pillow and me papers in a lawsuit. You are part of a criminal crime family as far as I'm concerned. That could be the dumbest question of the week. Do I think they played a role? Of course they did. And not only you sue me for billions here, now you got to double down and do it some more. But I guess you all lawyers, the administration lawyers, you all need a piece of the pie. I get that. That's nice.
It's your belief that Mr. Kane and myself are criminals as well?
What you did is criminal. And not your criminals, but what you've done is criminal. What you're doing here today is criminal.
That doesn't make any sense. Certainly he's being hyperbolic here, right? I mean, the lawyers just tried to clarify, are you being hyperbolic or do you believe that what we're doing is really criminal? And he said, what you're doing is criminal, seemingly. It's like, there is no hyperbole too big for this guy, too flamboyant and ridiculous for Mike Lindell. He is willing to say just about anything. It's nuts.
Absolutely criminal. You're taking money you don't deserve. You're trying to attack people that have done nothing to you, and you're wasting my time with a frivolous lawsuit because some judge didn't look at this last summer and get rid of it and say...
No, the judge looked at it, and the judge said, I'm not giving you a summary judgment, you poor fool. What are you thinking even asking for a summary judgment here? That's ridiculous. We're going to go through the case.
Are you kidding me? You can't sue this guy for this because you went and attacked his company and got him so he can't go on TV? I never talked about Eric Coomer in my life until you did that to Newsmax. And then you served me papers. Everything I said after you served me papers, I stand by it. Coomer's got to be part of it, and you guys are just as criminal what you did to me.
So basically, from what I understand, what he's talking about, you made it so that I couldn't go on like Fox News anymore or whatever. I believe what he's referring to here is, as part of the settlement with Dominion, Fox News and Newsmax and a number of other companies had to come out and publicly apologize openly for defaming these companies, or for defaming like Dominion and making false claims that they knew were false, and bringing people on, supposed experts who had no expertise in the field, and allowing them to spout off all kinds of nonsense. And then Newsmax personally chose not to, have Mike Lindell on anymore. That's basically what happened. So Fox News, Newsmax, One American News, they stopped having Lindell on anymore because he's a liability. The things that he says are dangerous and ridiculous to their bottom line, because they could be sued for defamation again, because what he says is absolutely false. That's the problem here.
Period. That's it.
It's the criminal crime family you're describing here that Mr. Kane and I you believe are a part of. Who else is in that family?
I don't know. Maybe you run it. I don't know.
They're trying to expand upon it. I love it. Like, this is a conspiracy theory that he's espousing. And this lawyer is trying to get him to expand on it even more and build it out and explain it to us. Who is they when you refer to this ambiguous, amorphous they that's out there hurting people?
Family.
I don't know. Maybe you run it. I don't know. Haven't checked into that. Maybe that's why you sued me, so you don't, who knows? I don't know. I said, what are they, a criminal crime family? That's what they do. When it's all tied together, you have the cover up, you got Jenna Griswold there, I put the image up for the world to see. Nobody says anything about it. Nobody.
Okay, so I think what he's talking about here, I put the image up for the world to see. No one says anything about it. Oh, this is complicated. I'm going to have to talk about it. I figured we were going to go through this, but I wanted to go through every last bit of it step by step. I don't want to leave something out. So let's talk about it. Let's just listen to another minute or two of this, and I'll explain what he's talking about here.
You got Jenna Griswold there, I put the image up for the world to see. Nobody says anything about it. Nobody talks about it. You sue and attack. When you attack somebody, a company that's never done anything to you, that's criminal. You too, it's criminal, guys. I can't get around it. What you did is terrible. It's evil, it's terrible, it's wrong. And that's it. There's things in my life.
All right, so they just stopped there. So let me just tell you what he's talking about. I put the image up. So Mike Lindell found some packets of data. So when you are communicating with an internet connection, when you're communicating between two different computers, there are a couple of different modes of transportation. There's UDP and there's TCP. So usually we use TCP. That's the most common for our purposes, right? And we send packets, we send pieces over. And as we send those pieces over, we wait for responses, and then we send more and things like that. Like, that's the general gist of how, data is transferred. Well, Mike Lindell claims to have recovered those packets of data from voting machines, which it's been claimed were not online. They weren't connected to the internet. Mike Lindell claims he got access to those packets of data. Somebody leaked them to Mike Lindell. And it shows, voting data being sent from the voting machines to an unknown, undisclosed IP address or whatever. So that's the image he's putting up on screen, or that he was referring to having put up on screen, an image of that data. But here's where it gets interesting. You ready for this one? Major twist here. He started a contest, Mike Lindell did, $5 million to anybody who can prove that his data is wrong, or prove that the election was not stolen based on the data that he provides, basically. And you have to do it in that room where he is. You can't leave the room, and you have to work with the tools that you have at your disposal, which is one of their computers and some of their software like Wireshark and things like that to read internet packets. And you have to prove your credentials to Mike Lindell before being admitted into the contest. Well, guess what? A Trump voting Republican enters the contest and wins, proved that the packets of data that Mike Lindell put up on screen at this cyber symposium for everybody to see was fake. It was random, anonymous data. It didn't mean anything. It was all fake nonsense. He proved it. Now, when he entered the contest, it said, "You are bound by the rules of this contest to settle any disagreements through arbitration," which basically means you can't sue me for the money. We have to go to a panel of judges. It's like 3 judges, and they're going to decide right there and then on the spot who's right and who's wrong. And he agreed to arbitration during the terms of the the contest. And the judges sided with the dude. They sided against Mike Lindell. I am just eating this up, dude. Oh my God. I love it. So Mike Lindell now owes $5 million to this guy for winning the contest that Mike Lindell set up, and went through arbitration to fight it, and the arbitrators settled on the guy's side. It's just fantastic. So that whole picture thing that he's referring to there, nobody talks about the picture. It's made up. The picture was made up. Okay? It was fabricated. It was fake data. It wasn't real, and that's been proven in a court of law it was proven with a cyber expert who voted for Donald Trump, and it's been proven through arbitrators and everything. It's been proven 1 billion times over.
I put the image up for the world to see. Nobody says anything about it.
No, we said all kinds of stuff about it. You just lied. You provided fake data, is all. And you were caught providing fake data by a Trump voting Republican, and to this day insist that it's real.
Nobody talks about it. You sue and attack. When you attack somebody, a company that's never done anything to you, that's criminal.
Well, see, that's the thing, Mike. The company and the company owner, you, have done things to Dominion and Eric Coomer, wrecked their reputation intentionally, and used that attention that you got while wrecking that reputation to build your own brand. That is actually worthy of a lawsuit, and that's what you're facing down now. You're facing consequences of your own actions, maybe for the first time in your life. I don't know.
YouTube, it's criminal, guys. I can't get around it. What you did is terrible. It's evil, it's terrible, it's wrong. And that's it. There's things in my life that are a lot more important than frivolous lawsuit. The only one, and I'm not blaming you for the frivolous other than when you put it up, because it should have been done 9 months ago. What the judge should have looked at this and said, "I'm sorry, guys, this is bizarre. Goodbye," and dumped it. And the judge didn't do that, and that's disgusting.
Look, of course, the judge didn't dismiss the case or do a summary judgment or whatever thing. I'm blown away that he thought that the judge even had a chance of doing a summary judgment or whatever. Like, that seriously surprises the hell out of me that he thought that the judge would side with him instantly like that. So anyway, that's everything that we have. That was every clip from the leak. Fascinatingly. Although there was one more clip from the leak. There were 3 PDFs, and it was basically just transcripts of everything. And we had, wait a minute, there's one more thing. He walked out of this deposition and called into Steve Bannon's TV show, or his not his show, his podcast or whatever. He called into Bannon's podcast in the middle of this deposition and did like this huge My Pillow advertisement, like right in the middle of it. I listened to the whole thing, and it's pointless to listen to all of it, but this was also leaked for what it's worth.
I got one of the best sales guys in the world, but unfortunately he's been trying to save his country while they're attacking his company. Mike, it is of utmost importance, a paramount interest, that people like Rudy Giuliani and Mike Lindell are not destroyed in this process, because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy anybody that steps up in this movement, whether it's Ken Paxton, Texas, Mike Lindell in Minnesota, Rudy Giuliani in New York. I don't care if you're a lawyer, attorney general, you're an entrepreneur, you're in their gun sights. And
who is they? Are they in the room with us right now, Steve? This is insane.
They're maniacally focused on destroying you, but this employee-owned company is punching back, sir. Tell me about it.
So basically, he just goes into this big long, My Pillow advertisement, and that's about as far as it. There's not much more to it.
Well, Steve, I had to jump into a room here. I'm in the middle of a deposition for a big attack on My Pillow right now, and it's disgusting, these lawsuits against an employee-owned company. That my employees, they've done nothing, and they're just citizens that make USA products. It's disgusting. And
this dude cannot take responsibility for his own actions to save his own life, can he?
This is right in our 20-year anniversary, so we've got two things going on. I do want to thank you again, your audience, Steve, the War Room audience, War Room Posse. Go to My Pillow, use that.
Yeah, and then he does this whole promo code thing. That's the point of the deposition in the first place, the promo codes. He is... this is like dead to rights. This is exactly what they were trying to establish in the deposition in the first place. That he used his quote-unquote persecution as a springboard to launch his company higher. And here we have it.
Promo code War Room. You guys can help us so much and help our employees keep their confidence.
That's why this was included in the first place in these leaks, because... right, like in the middle of the deposition, he was doing exactly what they were trying to prove in the deposition. It's just like embarrassing on every level. Dude doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut to save his life, for real. And it is wild. It is wild to watch. Mike Lindell, look, I don't like swearing very often on my stream. I'm gonna swear. You ready? Mike Lindell is he is going to pay out the nose for what he's doing right now, for everything that he's done. He's going to have to pay Dominion that money. And I don't see a way out of it for him, honestly. I didn't see a way out for Fox News either. And let me know what you think about it in the comments. I think it's hilarious, and I love it, and I'm eating this up. Joni Cummings, I swear every time I hear Mike Lindell speak, he gets more crazy and losing his everlasting mind. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's almost like he gets crazier. And the reason is because, in my opinion, the different avenues of explanations for how, like, the election was stolen, the different avenues he has to make that claim keep getting closed off to him. Like, it's obvious that this is not what happened. Okay, this is what the evidence shows. You're wrong on this one. So he backs himself into a different corner to try to find a different area of attack, and that fails. And he just keeps dropping the ball. He keeps getting, brick walls everywhere he goes because he's wrong about everything. So, anyway, that can't be good for his mental health. Joni Cummings, I almost bought a My pillow. I thought about it. Lindell was crazy back when he first came to my attention about 10 to 15 years ago. Oh, he's always been crazy. I don't own a My Pillow, but my ex owns a My Pillow just from a long, long time ago, and I've slept on one, and it's nice, but there are nicer pillows out there for sale. You can buy nicer pillows than that. Acting like his pillow is like the end-all be-all of all pillows. You know that you can buy pillows that you can put the exact amount of stuffing in yourself that you want? And they send you like a bag of stuffing and everything, and it's got like a zipper and all that. I mean, they make some really nice pillows. My pillow is not top-tier stuff. He's convinced it is. And believes that, and apparently he's like deeply offended when people say otherwise. It's crazy. Vic Campbell, thank you for becoming a member. Kirk Stromberg, MAGA still stands behind this delusional guy. I happen to live near his warehouse and it is empty. He is losing it all. Bankruptcy is coming, guarantee. Boy, I hope he doesn't go bankrupt before Dominion gets their claws into him. I would love to see Dominion get every penny that he owns rather than see him go bankrupt. That would be one hell of a story, right? From crack addict to pillow mogul to crack addict once again. Just broke, has nothing anymore. That one hell of a story. You know the sad thing about like this whole thing, really? Mike Lindell gave up crack and talks about it. And that's hard. That's an honestly incredible story. Dude has an amazing story to tell. But I listened to his story on my unfiltered, Owen Unfiltered YouTube channel a while back. I listened to his story, and you know what he said? He said he was in Minneapolis. There are 4 people that run all the drugs in that city. 4 main distributors that have street dealers that, you know, have lower level people and everything else. But the 4 guys at the top are the ones bringing it in and everything else. And he says, he's at Greg Locke's church when he's telling this story. He said, I walked into my house one day to find those 4 drug dealers standing there. The 4 generals, basically, that are bringing all of the drugs in. And they said to me, Mike, you're ruining your life. You got to get it together, man. You're smoking too much crack. It's not good for you. And nobody would sell to me after that because those 4 generals told them not to because I got to get my life together. It's like, dude, why do you have to lie about it? Like, even if you weren't in the drug world, you know that's bullshit. You have an amazing story. From crackhead to billionaire or nearly billionaire. Tell the real one. Why do you have to make shit up all the time? It's like the dude is like addicted to lying. He can't give it up. It's crazy. It's just ridiculous. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'm deeply entertained, truthfully.